In the ancient city of Jerusalem, as the sun cast its first golden rays over the stone streets, a man who had been blind from birth sat by the roadside. His world was one of perpetual darkness, his days spent begging for mercy from those who passed by. His life was defined by hardship and what he couldn't see, but in a single moment, everything was about to change. As Jesus passed by, he saw the man, a sight others had grown accustomed to, a fixture of the city's background. But Jesus saw more than just a beggar. He saw a life waiting for a miracle. Seeing him, Jesus' heart was moved with compassion. His disciples, curious about the cause of such suffering, asked who had sinned, this man or his parents. Jesus answered gently, "Neither this man nor his parents sinned, but this happened so that the works of God might be displayed in him." With these words, Jesus knelt down, looking at the man with a kindness that transcended the physical world. He was about to perform a miracle in a way no one expected. Jesus then did something unusual. He spat on the ground, mixing the dust of the earth with his saliva to form a small bit of mud. He reached out and gently anointed the man's sightless eyes with it. This act was deeply symbolic, a sign that the Creator was once again bringing forth something new from the clay of the earth. Jesus then gave a simple command: "Go, wash in the pool of Siloam." The name Siloam means sent, a subtle hint that the man was being sent on a journey of faith, and that Jesus himself was the one sent from God. The man, with mud on his eyes and a flicker of hope in his heart, didn't hesitate. He got up and began to make his way through the familiar streets, guided by touch and sound toward the pool. He was obedient to the word of a man he had never seen. He reached the pool of Siloam, the cool water a stark contrast to the dust of the road. He cupped the water in his hands and washed the mud from his eyes. As the last of the clay rinsed away, his eyelids fluttered open. For the very first time in his entire life, light flooded his vision. What was once a world of shapes and shadows became a vibrant tapestry of color and form. Confusion melted into pure, unadulterated amazement. He could see the ripples in the water, the faces of people nearby, the sky above. It was a reality he had only ever dreamed of. Overjoyed, he later explained to the bewildered crowd, "The man they call Jesus made mud and put it on my eyes. He told me to go to Siloam and wash. So I went and washed, and now I see." News of the miracle spread like wildfire. A man known by everyone to have been born blind could now see. The crowd that gathered was a mix of awe and disbelief. How could this be? As whispers turned to loud debate, the Pharisees, the religious leaders of the day, arrived on the scene. They were skeptical. The miracle had been performed on the Sabbath, a day of rest, and in their rigid interpretation of the law, making mud was considered work. Some of them said, "This man is not from God, for he does not keep the Sabbath." Others wondered how a sinner could perform such a sign. The religious leaders were so caught up in their rules that they were missing the miracle right in front of them. They questioned the man, his parents, and anyone who would listen, trying to find a reason to discredit Jesus. But the man who was healed stood his ground. His experience was real, undeniable. When pressed by the Pharisees about Jesus' character, he gave a simple, powerful testimony. "Whether he is a sinner or not, I don't know. One thing I do know, I was blind, but now I see." His faith was growing stronger with every question, every doubt thrown his way. While the Pharisees were blinded by their own traditions and arguments, this man's vision was becoming clearer, not just physically, but spiritually. He had experienced the power of Jesus firsthand, and no amount of theological debate could take that away from him. He was becoming a witness to the light he had just received. After the man was cast out of the synagogue for his bold testimony, Jesus sought him out. He found him and asked a profound question that went beyond physical sight. He asked if he believed in the Son of Man. Jesus then revealed his purpose, saying, "For judgment I have come into this world, so that the blind will see, and those who see will become blind. He was explaining that his mission was to open the spiritual eyes of those who recognized their need for him, while those who were self-righteously convinced they could see everything would be exposed in their spiritual blindness. Jesus was offering more than just restored vision. He was offering himself as the light of the world, the source of all truth and salvation. The man, now looking into the face of his healer for the first time, understood. The pieces fell into place. The one who healed his eyes was now healing his soul. His response was immediate and filled with heartfelt worship. He declared, "Lord, I believe," and he fell at Jesus' feet. His physical eyes had been opened, but in that moment, the eyes of his heart were opened even wider to see the divine truth of who Jesus is. He saw not just a miracle worker, but his Lord and his Savior. The greatest miracle wasn't just that he could see the world around him, but that he could finally see God's Son standing before him. This incredible story is more than just a historical account of a miracle. It's a powerful reminder for every one of us. We all have areas of blindness in our lives, places where we are lost, confused, or unable to see the truth. Like the man born blind, we might be sitting in our own kind of darkness, hoping for a change. This miracle shows us that Jesus is the light of the world, and he is ready and willing to open our eyes to truth, love, and salvation. He meets us right where we are, in our brokenness and need, and offers us a new way of seeing a life illuminated by his grace. Will you see Jesus with eyes of faith? The same power that gave sight to the blind is available to us today. Trust in him and let his light transform your life. Thanks for watching. If this story touched you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that brings faith to life.